Morning, guys. Morning. Morning. What's up? Having a little headset issue there. Sorry. All right. Make sure. Morning, yo. Good morning, everybody. I guess my thing's on. I can't tell. The screen's not lighting up for me like it usually does. Yep. Good morning. Second day of the year. Welcome to the Apostate 8 channel, where we debate Christians and where you can watch an undereducated hick from Alabama perform an intellectual takedown of the Christian faith, doctrine, and logic for your entertainment. Or if you're a Christian and you think I'm getting took down, then it's for your entertainment too. Anyway, welcome in this morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm sure we'll have a firecracker of a show again today. Ooh, that is good. Kitchen islands are good. Very nice and trendy. My old lady built one in our kitchen. It's pretty amazing. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Finkel. Morning, y'all. Morning. Welcome in. Oh, don't be sorry. I'm sorry. You still have faith. I appreciate the sentiment, though. I really do. Yep. Good morning. What up, everybody? Who knows what wild shit we'll hear today? What wild apologetics may emerge from today's show? We always have a crazy one, don't we? I think yesterday might have taken most of all the cakes ever. Oh, no. Well, we just got this live fired up barely a minute ago, so we already got folks rolling in. And no doubt we will have some good debates today, no doubt, right? The days never lack a good one, I don't think. We will never lack a man in our presence to debate Christianity. It's my prophecy for the day. I wish my screen would light up where I could hear my little voice thing working. I guess my thing's on, but am I supposed to argue for or against Christians? I mean, whatever you want, I guess. Trod, what's happening, buddy? What up, big dog? What does that say? The text is cut off. What's the last point? Is it cut off? The number 3 one, if that's what you mean, is Christians are under the law and sinners do not know God. Ryan, if you requested up on purpose and you're a Christian, hang out for barely a minute and I'll bring you up, man. We'll let 15 or 20 people pile in here real quick. Yeah, I'm an atheist, yeah. Big old atheist. Once again, Ryan Dragonfly, if you requested up on purpose, hang out for just a second. Oh, we're just looking to debate Christians, buddy. We just do debating of Christians up in here. It's cool to meet a Buddhist, though. I don't think we've ever had a Buddhist here. So, Muscle, hang out a second if you requested up, and we'll bring you up in just a second. Getting the feed flowing pretty good right now. Yep, it's already moving good. All right. Thank you for the hearts. Appreciate that. Get the morning flowing right here. Thank you, Fave Heathen. You are my favorite heathen. Appreciate it. All right. Well, let's go ahead. So we got here. Ryan, I don't need a co-host, man. Thanks, though. I got a few people that come co-host with me, but it's not very often. All right, so yeah, I don't really know you, man, so I can't. Oh well, I like your enthusiasm though. All right, well let's bring up Briar, and then we'll have Muscle up next, or maybe Briar. We'll go ahead and try to bring up a few. Rise me. Wait a minute, let me read that first. Oh. All right. Let's give, hey, somebody give me a gift. So, hey, Mawas, if you requested up on purpose and you're a Christian, will you throw a yes or a one in the chat or something? So I'll know I'll bring you up. Muscle was actually there first, but he's a recent guest. So, okay, cool. I'll try to prioritize people that I haven't talked to before. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and bring up Mawas then. Mawas. Mawas, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool, cool. You're over 18?
Yes, I am.
Awesome, and you're a Christian, right?
I am.
Cool, cool. So which one of these topics you want to debate us on here today?
I just want to kind of go over a couple of things. I kind of want to counter what you said that you said Jesus is a delusional man who fulfills zero prophecy.
Yeah.
Well, though there's there's like this argument for sanity I do want to get through, like the trilemma, like C.S. Lewis. We all know C.S. Lewis. He famously argued that, like,
is that the guy who wrote Narnia?
Things, huh?
Ain't that the guy who wrote Narnia?
Yeah. I mean, he argued back in the day. He argued that the man who says that who said that things that Jesus said would not be like a great moral teacher. He said that either a lunatic, on the level of a man who says he is a poached egg, a liar, or like a specifically deceiving people, or exactly who he said he was, that which is Lord. The psychological consistency that delusional individuals typically display narcissism, incoherence, and a break from reality. Jesus displayed immense empathy. He had logical brilliance in debate, humility, which is like washing the disciples' feet, grace under pressure. His teachings, like the Sermon on the Mount, are widely recognized even by secular historians as the bedrock of our Western moral philosophy. That level of coherent wisdom does not come from a delusional mind. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I can agree that some of the attributes that you're applying to him would not make him that, but I don't think any of that hardly ever happened, and I do think he was a delusional dude. And I say he was delusional because of things like he thought he was about to ride a donkey into Jerusalem and be the king of the world to fulfill a prophecy, which clearly didn't happen. So that's why I think he's delusional, is because of stuff like that.
Well, I mean, also we have to also talk about what you also talk about, the fulfillment of prophecy. The claim that he fulfills zero prophecy is demonstrably false, because Jesus because Jesus fulfilled over 300 specific prophecies written centuries before his birth.
Nope, not a one.
Yeah, he did. Like Isaiah 53, which was written around 700 BC, it describes the suffering servant who was pierced for our transgressions and led like a lamb to the slaughter. It perfectly describes the crucifixion centuries before crucifixion was even invented as a method of execution.
Have you read Isaiah before?
I have.
Well, coincidentally, it tells you over and over and over again who the suffering servant is in 53.
Well, here's the thing. Like Micah,
it's not Jesus or a man.
Yeah, it is. Micah 5:2 predicts the Messiah would be born in Bethlehem.
That's not what that says either.
Yes,
You're already coming
if
across
you look at Micah 5:2,
no,
you can say that it doesn't. You can look at it right now.
Which one do you want to read first? You want to read? I will. Okay, let's just do that one.
Micah 5:2.
Micah 5:2.
Micah 5:2.
Perfect. I heard you. Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
Predicts the Messiah.
It says, "But you, O Bethlehem of Ephrathah, who are one of the little clans of Judah, from you shall come forth to me one who is to rule in Israel, whose origin is from old, from ancient days." So That didn't say nothing about a town. This sounds Bethlehem as a clan.
No, it talks about him as the
It's
Messiah.
Bethlehem of Ephrathah. Nope.
Wait, right, then go to Psalm 22. It opens with
Well, hold on a
Jesus'
second.
exact
Let's
words.
let's let's take one at a time here. So, but
Okay.
you, O Bethlehem of Ephrathah, who are one of the little clans of Judah. So, did that say clan or town?
It does say clan in your definition, but do you understand
It's what the word
the
says.
transcribing? Do you know what you mean by transcribing? A lot of times, clan means family.
Okay. Does clan mean town?
It can mean a whole bunch of things. I'm not a biblical
Show us anywhere
scholar.
where it means town.
Okay. All right. Give me just a second.
And then we can move on to when did Jesus ever rule in Israel?
As far as like the looking through like my concordance right now, talking about the linguistic roots and things of that nature, when we talk about that, you know,
Which concordance do you have?
Strong's concordance, like when we're looking at the Hebrew root Aleph, right? Um,
Well,
you're
that's for
technically
the
correct
King
that the
James Bible
word.
specifically.
I mean, you're technically correct that that Hebrew word is Aleph, which often translates to thousand or clan, which is a military or like a family unit of like 1,000
Right.
people. But I remember
Yeah, it
like
means you have to come from the clan of David. Yeah.
but here's the thing: you didn't have a clan floating in either. A clan was a village. To address like the clan of Bethlehem is effectively the same as addressing the town of Bethlehem. I mean, it's a
No.
distinction without a difference. Like if I say like the people of New York, I'm obviously referring to the place of New York, right? So the verse doesn't just say Bethlehem; it says Bethlehem Ephrath, right?
Yeah,
There were
Bethlehem of
two.
Ephrathah. Yeah.
Yeah, it says. I mean, but basically there were two
That's the
Bethlehems
that's
in
the
ancient
line of David. That's who
Israel.
founded the ancient line of David.
Yeah, I mean, there were two Bethlehems in ancient Israel, right? One is in the north, which
Yeah.
is Zebulun, and there was one in the south, which is Judah. The Ephrath is like the ancient geographical name for the region around Bethlehem, Judah, which is like
Yeah,
in
but it's
Genesis
also a
35.
person, and this is clearly referring to the line of David, not a town called Bethlehem.
But like, if Micah were the only was only talking about a family line or the clan and not a place, he wouldn't need to add the geographical coordinate Ephrath. He wouldn't have to do that. He added it specifically to pinpoint the location
Well,
on
then
the
why
map
did
to
they put
distinguish
Judah in
it
there
from the
too?
other
Why
town
say
of the
Judah?
same name.
Well, if that's
He
the case,
had,
then why mention Judah?
huh?
If that's the case, then why mention any place like Bethlehem, Ephrathah, or Judah? Why not just leave all that out if that's not what it's talking about?
Um there's distinctness
Well,
between
there's
the
no
town.
definition of Hebrew where clan translates to a town. So this is not saying that you have to be born in Bethlehem. It's saying you have to be born from that clan because you can be born outside of Bethlehem and be from the clan of David and still be from that genetic line. So that only makes sense.
Okay. Now, what was
But
the
it
other point?
says
Go
that
on, go
one
ahead.
who is to come to rule in Israel. So Jesus never ruled Israel on the throne of David. So he can't fulfill this prophecy in almost any way. You don't think Jesus ruled Israel from the throne of David, do you?
That okay, so you claim that he didn't what?
Jesus was never a king. Like all the Old Testament, this is talking about a literal king. That's what a Messiah is. It's a king, and it's a king from the line of David in the case of Israel. So Jesus was never a king, and he arguably wasn't even from the line of David.
So you're saying that he didn't rule in the king as a king in the line of David, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, okay, so this is what we call like a political messiah objection. I mean, you're arguing that because Jesus didn't kick out the Romans or sit on a physical chair in Jerusalem and tax people that he filled as a king,
Can
right?
you rule the throne of David without sitting on the throne of David?
Well, I mean, this is what you misunderstand of what the throne of David actually means in prophecy versus what the first century zealots wanted it to mean. I mean, the throne is not a
Well,
chair.
I'm talking about from Micah in the Old Testament. This is what the Old Testament's telling us. I'm not concerned with the New Testament's interpretation of it right now. I'm just trying to go with the actual prophecy and what they actually meant. And this is talking about a literal king who's going to sit on a literal throne in Israel. Like if you go to Matthew, Herod was terrified that Jesus was going to take his literal throne from him in Jerusalem, right? So we're talking about a literal king sitting on that throne in Jerusalem.
Okay. Excuse me. So going back to Micah, you know, the fact that you think like he needed to sit on the physical throne in Jerusalem and kick out the Romans, because like the Hebrew word that was used to Micah is moshel, okay, which is a ruler or one who exercises like a dominion or something. While it is similar,
didn't do that either.
Yeah, well, I mean, but while it's similar to a king, it focuses primarily on authority or governments, right? So Jesus exercised absolute authority, moshel, over things that no earthly king could control, like nature, calming storms, sickness, healing lepers, demons, casting them out, and also death with Lazarus. But when you say something like he didn't rule the government, like Micah didn't predict the mayor, he predicted a ruler whose origins are from everlasting. A divine origin implies
a king from the line of David,
Yeah, a divine origin implies a divine rule, but just not from a political term limit. But like you can't just read verse 2 and ignore verse 4. But like, because like Micah explicitly tells us how this king will rule. In Micah 5:4, it says that he will stand and shepherd his flock in the strength of the Lord. That fulfillment is that Jesus didn't come to tax people, which is political rule. He came to shepherd them. He literally called himself the good shepherd. That's in John 10:11. And also that type of rule Micah predicted was pastoral and protective, exactly what Jesus did.
Was Jesus a king from the line of David? And verse 4 also says, they shall live secure, for now shall be great to the ends of the earth, and he shall be the one of peace. I mean, he didn't bring any peace to Jerusalem, especially to the end of the earth. That's crazy.
Okay, but if this prophecy was about a local military king like Simon Bar Kokhba or Zerubbabel, they failed. No ancient Jewish king was great to the ends of the earth. They were barely known outside the Middle East. But the reality of the situation
that's just what they called them in these prophecies, yeah.
Well, here's the thing, but like the reality is like who is the only person from Bethlehem whose name is known and revered in almost every nation on earth today? It's Jesus. He is the only one who actually fulfilled the scope of Micah's prophecy.
He didn't fulfill any of this prophecy.
Yes, he did, because like here's the thing, in Micah 5:5, it also says that and he will be our peace. Like you might assume
Jesus
that
says,
peace,
I did not come to bring peace. I came to bring a sword. Like, how is Jesus the Prince of Peace when he didn't come to bring peace?
Well, here's the thing. Like, you might assume peace to be no wars, but in Hebrew, like shalom, peace means wholeness and reconciliation. But like Jesus established the ultimate peace, reconciling humanity to God. Ephesians 2:14 states that for he himself is our peace. A political king can stop a battle, but the Messiah can stop the war between man and God.
Jesus wasn't a Messiah, though. You have to be, that's what Messiah means. It's an anointed one, a king. It's either a king or a priest, and Jesus certainly wasn't a priest.
Okay, well, you know, when you sit there and you say that he never took on the throne of David, I mean, you got to, I mean, that's a complete
he didn't. It's a literal throne of Israel.
But
like,
no, it's
David was a literal king. Like,
no, the Bible teaches that the throne of David was elevated to heaven when Jesus ascended.
Not in the Old Testament, it's not.
Yeah, in Psalm 110, verse 1, it's one of the most quoted verses in the New Testament. The Lord says to my Lord, sit at my right hand, and I will make your enemies a footstool for your feet. The point is that he is ruling. Just the fact that you refuse to bow to the king doesn't mean the king isn't on the throne. It just means that the critic is currently in rebellion.
Well, to fulfill these prophecies from the Old Testament, that's why the Jews rejected Jesus, because he was not any of these prophecies. Like, he doesn't actually fit the description of any of these unless you change it to like metaphorical and typological meanings. That's the only way you can get to Jesus, because if you actually go by the context and what it's calling for, Jesus fails miserably.
No, I mean, because you cannot take a look at the Bible as itself as a literal document, because there's a lot of things that has to be within the context of the time it was written. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I'm the one using the context here. I feel like you're the one getting rid of it.
No, I'm not. No. I'm just basically
Yeah,
telling
I'm
you.
using the actual context. Bethlehem of Ephrathah, a clan of Judah, a ruler from Israel. I'm making these contextually
But I
realistic
feel as
to the
if like you're
text
just
here.
saying
And
these things
Jesus
as a
doesn't
literal
actually do any
basis.
of this. It is a literal.
Yeah, but
It's
a
a
lot of
prophecy. They
things.
have to be specific, or you won't know if it's a real prophecy or not, according to God.
But here's the thing: the whole point of it is that you have to understand within the context of it when it was written. You cannot take a
I
ancient
do.
text and
I'm the one
apply it
using
to
that. You're
modern day.
discarding that.
You can't take it and apply it to modern day equivalency when you
I'm
don't
not.
understand.
I do understand. You don't understand. The throne of David is a literal throne that rules Israel forever in these prophecies. You have to be a literal king to fulfill these prophecies.
And he is the King of
Jesus
Kings.
clearly wasn't. He's not. You can't just call him a king of kings and makes him a king of Israel. He was never a king of Israel. Luke even shows that these prophecies aren't being fulfilled in Jesus. I don't know how it can get any clearer than that.
Well, I mean, like the throne of David. Okay, like this is actually this argument that you're saying it's literal is actually trapping you. Like if you insist on a literal biological successor sitting on the physical throne in Jerusalem without the supernatural
Yeah,
elements
I
of
do, because
Jesus.
that's what it says. You're the one getting rid of the context to make it
No,
about Jesus.
I mean,
Yeah.
because you're going to be running into a brick wall in the Old Testament because, like, how about the curse of Jeconia? Okay, like that's in Jeremiah 22 verse 30. Like, you want a
Right.
literal king from the line that is the last sitting kings of Judah. The problem is God cursed that specific lineage.
Yeah,
If
so
you
why
look,
is Matthew using that as a lineage for Jesus if it's cursed?
okay, but here's the thing: in Jeremiah 22 verse 30, if we can unpack this, it pronounces a curse on King Conia, which
Yeah.
is like it says that write this man down as childless, for none of his offspring shall prosper, sitting on the throne of David
Yep.
and ruling again in Judah. Okay, but then again,
Mhm.
this creates a paradox, a very legal paradox. So the royal
Yeah,
line
that's
went
why
through.
Luke fixes it, but Matthew
Okay,
uses this. Matthew
but
gives a different genealogy than Luke
okay,
does.
but like, if the royal line went through Jeconia, but God said no descendant could sit on the throne. Okay, that's the paradox. But this is the Jesus solution. Okay, this is why the virgin birth is essential, and that's just not magic. Joseph was from the line of Jeconia. That's in Matthew 1. If Jesus were
He's
Joseph's
not in Luke, though.
biological son, he would be cursed and disqualified from the throne. Correct?
Hmm.
Yeah. If he was his
Yeah.
biological son, based off of Jeremiah 22:30, okay, he would be cursed
Yeah,
and disqualified
disqualified. I
from the
agree.
throne.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
that's
So it's not Jesus. Matthew made a
if
big old poo poo.
Jesus, if he was from Joseph's biological son, he would be disqualified. But Mary was from the line of David, but bypassed
No, she
that
wasn't.
cursed Jeconia line. That's in Luke 3. Okay,
Mary was a Levite. Luke never says anything about Mary's genealogy.
yeah, but she was from
No,
the lane.
where are you getting that from?
Okay. All right. So the result basically is that Jesus is Joseph's legal son by adoption, but he inherits that title to the throne
You
because
have
he
to
is
come
married.
from the loins of David to be the Messiah from the Old Testament. You have to come from his nutsack.
Okay. So Mary was from the line of David.
Where's that? Where does it say that anywhere? Mary was a Levite. She was related to Elizabeth, and Elizabeth was a Levite. That's the
Well, if you
only
take,
biblical description it gives of Mary's family. That's it. That's the only one.
so we're going to talk about like biblical lineage as far as Mary's concerned, but even though the Bible doesn't explicitly say that in a single sentence,
It doesn't say
basically,
it anywhere in any
well,
sense.
okay. All right. So the most direct evidence that we can find in that genealogy is in Luke. Like I think it's Luke 3. It says that Jesus being the son and was supposed of Joseph, the son of Heli. Here's a discrepancy. So in Matthew 1, Joseph's father is listed as Jacob, but in Luke 3, Joseph's father is listed as Heli, a
I know,
man
that's why I said
obviously.
we're getting two genealogies from Matthew and Luke, but they're both
Okay.
talking about Joseph. I mean, you can see it right there in verse 23. It says Joseph, son of Heli. It doesn't say Mary, son of Heli. This isn't Mary's
Okay.
genealogy.
Okay, well, the thing about this is that, like, a lot of times, like, the women were not listed in genealogies, but the
Yeah,
reason I'm
never.
saying,
The Bible don't go through women for genealogies.
yeah, but
Never.
like the reason I'm saying that Mary was from that tribe is for the fact that Luke 3 traces her line, the biological
Where?
line,
Where
back
does
to
it say
David's
that?
son Nathan.
Where? Where does it say that?
Luke 3, it traces Mary's
Where?
line,
Show us.
her
What? Where's the
biological
verse
line.
that says this is Mary's line?
It
You know
tells
that's
you
not
right
in there,
there.
don't you?
I mean, it tells you right
It
there.
don't.
David's
It tells you it's
son
Joseph's line.
David's son, Nathan. Okay, it goes back to David's son, Nathan, which was the line that Mary was a part of in Luke 3.
Where does it say anything about this being Mary's line? The Bible does not use genealogies from women, especially when it's referring to David. It has to go through the males, the kings.
Okay. Well, if we just take a look at the lineage of, I mean, if you're looking for a modern birth certificate, you're ignoring, like, honestly,
I'm not
that
looking for
type
a
of.
modern birth certificate, but I'm just telling you, it doesn't say this is Mary's line anywhere.
Okay, well, I mean, if you look at Luke 3, it traces a line through Nathan, which is Mary's line, rather than Solomon, which is Joseph's line.
Where
The
does it say
text
that?
calls for Joseph, the son of Heli, because ancient genealogies didn't list, of course, women. They listed the husband as their
Exactly.
heir, the father-in-law. But Paul confirms in Romans 1:3 that Jesus is of David according to the flesh, which is biologically impossible unless Mary herself is of the house of David.
Well, she's not.
Well, it's
And it
biologically
never says
impossible.
that. You're getting there through something that I have no idea how you're getting there through because it never
If you're
says
looking,
that.
okay, all right. There's four distinct pieces of evidence: the Greek grammar of the text, the contradiction in Matthew's genealogy, the legal custom of the Jewish, and the external, I guess, historical records. So, of course, we already went through, like, the two fathers problem between Jacob and Heli, um, but if we look at the grammar of as was supposed, the Greek text in Luke 3:23. It says that the Jesus being the son as was supposed of Joseph.
Yeah, they were
The
just saying
Greek,
we figured this is how Jesus got here. It's not talking
yeah,
about Mary though.
this is the Greek doesn't actually say Joseph, the son of Heli, right? This the word son
Yes, it
is not
does.
repeated before Heli. It reads like literally Jesus
No.
being the son as was supposed of Joseph of Heli. Like the proof is that the
Yeah,
grammar
and it never
allows.
says Mary anywhere.
I mean, it's just the grammar allows for the reading that Jesus is the grandson of Heli, which Joseph inserted only as, like, this legal guardian. But when we come back over here to the Jerusalem Talmud, right? This is the strongest external historical proof that we have, that
The
it.
Talmud said Jesus is boiling his own excrement in hell right now.
Okay, it says the Talmud explicitly refers to Mary as Miriam Bart Heli, Miriam, daughter of Heli, right? The proof is that, like, it's the second century Jews knew that Heli was Mary's father. Okay,
Yeah,
if
but
the Talmud, if the Talmud, which hates Jesus, admits that Mary is Heli's daughter, and Luke insists Jesus'
no, you
grandfather
can
is
relate
Heli,
Mary to Heli through marriage,
then
but you can't say this is about Mary through Joseph. It doesn't work that way.
but
The
if you.
Talmud clearly didn't think Jesus was a Messiah from the line of David.
But here's the thing. But you're telling me that, I'm giving you evidence here that Luke 3 is undeniably Mary's genealogy. If you sit there,
It's not.
Yeah, I mean, if Luke 3 is okay, let's break it down. If Luke 3 was Joseph's line, the Bible contradicts itself because Matthew says Joseph's
There's
father
all
was
kinds of
Jacob.
contradictions in here, man. It's just a big
Yeah,
contradiction.
but
It's
here's the
all a
thing.
big mess, especially in Matthew.
But if you have to take the solution in the Talmud, which records Mary as Miriam, daughter of Heli, Luke insists that Jesus' grandfather is Heli. Therefore, Luke is tracing the line
Dude, the
through the
Talmud was
mother,
written way, way after this. It doesn't mean anything.
Mary. Okay, but it's like
Either way, they do not use women for genealogies, and they certainly would not use one for David's line. That's absurd.
How is it absurd?
Because it doesn't say it, for one thing, but the Bible never uses women genealogies. Never. And it certainly would not use them, especially to get to David.
This is why you have to take certain historical documents and you got to weave them together to make it coherent.
It's not coherent. It's just a contradiction. Luke and Matthew's given two different genealogies.
Well, I mean, we can sit there and say that, but
it's true. It's what it says.
You wanted proof.
If this was coherent, they would both give the same genealogy, wouldn't they?
But here's the thing: when you have two different people telling the same story, somebody's going to sit there and say something different. Sometimes this is how things.
Well, sometimes somebody's wrong. That means only one of them can be right, or they're both wrong. That's the only logical inference here. Like, there's tons of contradictions in here. I mean, galore. Like, I can pull up a list right now that has like 1,000.
But like, I mean, obviously the whole thing is that I know that you're out to try to justify how you feel, and that's fine. But like, I want you to pick like the best contradiction you can find. Like, and here's like, I want you to pick from these four. I want you to pick either the death of Judas. I want you to pick either the resurrection. I want you to pick from either seeing God face to face versus the impossible, or faith versus works. Which one of those four gives you the biggest contradiction?
Well, I got my own contradictions that I think is better than those, but I guess I would
okay.
pick the third one there.
Yeah. Tell me.
Numbers 23:19 versus Exodus 32:14 is my favorite one in the whole Bible.
And what is the scriptures again, so I can look it up?
Numbers 23 verse 19.
Numbers
23 verse 19. Here, I'll read it for you. It says, God is not a human being that he should lie. Yep. Verse 19. Thank you, Rick.
What's the next one?
Here, I'll read this one real quick. It says, God is not a human being that he should lie, nor a mortal that he should change his mind. He has promised, and will he not do it? He has spoken, and will he not fulfill it? So that's clearly saying that God doesn't lie, right? Lie or change his mind.
Okay, so that was from Numbers 23:19, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and what was the other one that you mentioned?
Exodus 32.
Is there a specific verse?
Verse 14.
Verse
this
14?
one says, and the Lord changed his mind about the disaster that he planned to bring on his people. So in Numbers, it's clearly saying God does not change his mind. And in Exodus, it's clearly showing an example where he does change his mind. So, fun contradiction there.
Okay, all right. So you're trying to explain immutable character versus a conditional action. So there's one scripture he says this, and you're saying this other scripture says he says that, to make that.
Yeah, one says he don't change his mind, and one says he did.
Okay. All right. So this is how we're going to dismantle this, okay? All right. So if we're looking at the Hebrew word that was used in those both verses is nacham, N-A-C-H-A-M, okay? This is a type of word that means to breathe deeply, to be comforted, or to relent. When you're talking about Numbers 23:19, it means that God doesn't have regret like a human who's made a mistake or realized that they're wrong. God never says that, oops, I didn't see that coming, right? But in Exodus 32:14,
it says he doesn't change his mind. Yeah.
It says that God relented or withdrew the threat because the situation changed. All right. So if we're going to use this analogy to explain how God can change his action without changing his mind. So here's the analogy for you. Okay.
No, this says he changed his mind.
Okay. So a thermostat is set at 70 degrees. Okay. Okay. So it's immutable. Its goal never changes. It's set to 70 degrees. If the room gets cold, the thermostat turns on. If the room gets hot, the thermostat basically has the heat turned on. But did the thermostat change his mind? No.
We're talking about God or the thermostat?
Well, I'm trying to break this down for you in terms so we can understand. If the thermostat didn't change its mind, no, it reacted to a change in an environment to maintain its consistent standard. Okay, so here's the context. God's standard is justice. Okay, when Israel sinned with the golden calf, his justice demanded judgment, which is the heat is on. When Moses interceded and the people aligned back toward God, his justice was satisfied by mercy, that is, the heat off. God didn't change. The people changed. God simply remained consistent with his character. Okay?
This says, and the Lord changed his mind about the disaster that he planned to bring on his people. That means he was going to do something, and then he changed his mind, and now he's not doing that. There's even a whole little story about how Moses talks him off the ledge here.
All right. So
yeah, God says, I'm about to destroy all these evil mofos. And Moses is like, now hold on, God, just calm down and think about this for a minute. He's like, do you want the whole world saying, why did he bring us out of Egypt like this, just to destroy us in the desert and bring this evil on us? And God's like, okay, you're right. You know what? I'll change my mind. That's exactly what's happening here.
You're obviously confusing God's character with God's actions, because Numbers 23 says that God doesn't change his character. He doesn't make mistakes or lie. But in Exodus 32, it shows that God's changing his action in response to prayer.
It says he changed his mind. That's the words that it says.
God is not a robot.
That's what happened here. He was going to destroy them all, and he changed his mind and did not destroy them all. That's changing your mind.
I mean, but if I step toward a cliff and God warns me, hey, you're going to die, and if I step back and I don't die, God didn't lie. I just met that condition for mercy.
That's not the same.
Right?
That's not the same.
Exodus 32 is a proof that
if God says, I'm going to make you walk off this cliff, and then he relents and says, never mind, I'm not going to make you walk off this cliff, that's changing your mind. And he also lies too, by the way. Numbers is wrong on both counts. God is a liar, and he changes his mind.
It's a character versus actions. Character versus
the action is him changing his mind. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
It's saying his character doesn't change his mind, and he clearly does. He clearly has regrets. He regrets making humans. He regrets making Saul king. He's making bad decisions.
I mean, you're refusing to distinguish between a decree, which is what God has determined will happen, and a warning, what God says could happen.
It's not a warning. He says, I am going to destroy them. And Moses says, you can't do this. He's like, everybody's going to think you're crazy. And God's like, yeah, you're right. So I won't do this. He is clearly changing his mind. This isn't a warning. He makes warnings in other books. I could show you an actual warning if you want to talk about that, but that's not changing your mind.
So what's the actual scripture that says that he cannot change his mind, or that he said he won't change his mind?
That's in Numbers 23. Numbers 23, God is not immortal that he should lie, or immortal that he should change his mind. It says, hey, he has promised. Will he not do it? He has spoken. Will he not fulfill it? It's even given a little strengthening example with those words there. It says, if God says he's going to do it, he is going to do it. But clearly,
I'm just curious.
Clearly changes his mind.
I'm just curious what translation you read out of, just to be.
I read the NRSV UE.
Which one is
the
that?
Best modern, the NRSV UE. This is the best modern translation, especially of the Hebrew, that you can find, I think. This is a straight up translation. No tradition at all is preserved in this. They straight up translate the oldest Hebrew manuscripts straight into English. They don't give any church tradition in here like other versions do.
Okay. So just for
example, if you read a Bible that has the word virgin in Isaiah chapter 7, then it's a traditional translation and not a literal one. Most Bibles even tell you that, actually.
Okay, it's called the N what?
NRSVUE. That's the newly revised standard version, updated edition.
Okay, because also there's a lot of translations on that spectrum, whether it's like a word for thought and a word for word translation.
Sure, sure. And but even like the new KJV, like if you have study Bibles and stuff, even though it's putting these traditional words in there, like virgin in Isaiah chapter 7, it'll even put a note in the page that says it's a matter of tradition that this word is placed there. The actual word is this and it means this. Like so even the modern Bibles that still have the words in there or they'll put notes telling you this isn't the actual word that's supposed to be used here.
Okay. I mean, but if you're using the NRSVUE, it's more of an academic translation that prefers the word
Yeah, I know. That's why I like
over
this one.
town. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's because this one's doing straight up
but
translations of the actual
but
manuscripts. That's
but I
why this
mean,
one is more trustworthy than the other ones.
I mean, it's fine, but it kind of really misses the context of it because
No, this is giving
Everett.
you the actual context. The traditional ones are the ones changing it.
I mean, like for like the chief priest of Matthew 2, who spoke Hebrew, told Herod the Messiah would be bound in the town of Bethlehem, not just a clan. Are you saying you
Well,
know
that's
Hebrew
just
better
the
than the Jewish? Are you saying that you
no,
know
I don't
Hebrew
know.
better than the Jewish High Council in the first century?
No, but I'm saying I know whoever wrote the New Testament couldn't even read Hebrew. They were reading the Greek Septuagint. That's why they translated words the way they did, because Matthew didn't understand the semantic range of the words that were in the Greek as a Hebrew translation. So I don't even think they could read Hebrew, whoever wrote the New Testament. They
Okay.
clearly don't know what's going on in the Old Testament.
Yeah, but I just think like really with numbers, going back to Numbers 23, when it says that God won't change His mind about a blessing He promised.
Well, what do you consider a more trustworthy translation then?
I mean, that's up for personal preference, honestly. I mean,
Well, which
I
one do you
mean,
prefer?
for me,
I'll read the one you
my
prefer.
my personal go to is an NLT, but that's more of a word for thought. It's more on the other end of the spectrum,
NLT.
more of a word for thought. New Living Translation.
This says God is not a man, so he does not lie. He is not human, so he does not change his mind. Like your version literally says the same thing.
NLT.
Yeah. I just read it. It says God is not a man, so he does not lie. He is not a human, so he does not change his mind. Like that's pretty accurate
Okay,
to what the
well, I
other one
mean,
says. It just uses different words, but it's still saying the same thing.
but
This says man instead of mortal,
yeah,
but
he
it's
didn't
talking
lie.
about the same
He
thing.
didn't lie because here's the thing: because the whole context of it, he's not going to change his
Well, I
mind
didn't say he
about
lied.
the
It didn't say he
blessing
changed
he
his mind. I can
promised.
show you where he does lie, though.
Well, here's the thing: he didn't change his mind about the blessing he promised
He
to
changed
the.
his mind about destroying them all for worshiping that calf.
He changed. Okay, he changed his course regarding a punishment he threatened because breaking a
No, it
promise.
wasn't a threatened punishment.
Yes,
He comes
breaking a
down and sees what
promise.
they're doing, and God says, "Oh hell no! I'm about to destroy every one of you." He doesn't warn them. He says, "I'm going to do it." And Moses gives him a whole little speech about how he shouldn't do this, and God changes his mind.
He changed he won't change. Okay, so basically his blessing that he promised versus the course of the punishment that he threatened. Breaking a promise is lying, correct? Canceling a punishment is mercy. He didn't change his mind. He changed the course regarding his punishment. He broke his promise, the blessing he promised, that would be lying. But he canceled a punishment, which is his
Changing your
mercy.
mind isn't necessarily a lie. I can show you a lie, but this is him changing his mind.
He canceled the punishment, and that is called what we call mercy.
That's called
God is both
changing your
truthful.
mind.
Listen, if God is both truthful, which is in Numbers, and merciful, which is in Exodus, there's no contradiction whatsoever.
There is a contradiction, a clear one. You're just
No,
twisting
because I
yourself
mean
into
you're
mental
reading
pretzels
it
right now to try to get
verbatim.
rid of it.
You're
I
reading it
know because
verbatim.
it's what it says. It says, "Now let me alone, so that my wrath may burn hot against them, and I may consume them. And of you I will make a great nation." And it says, "But Moses implored the Lord God and said, 'Oh Lord, why does your wrath burn hot against your people?'" Like God is literally saying, "I'm about to destroy them all." Moses says, "Hey, you shouldn't do this," and God says, "You're right, I won't." That's changing his mind. There's
He's
no way around
changing
that.
the punishment.
He's changing his mind not to destroy them.
Because
Either way, he's changing, isn't he? He's changing his mind.
Breaking a promise is a lie. The promise, the blessing that he promised
He's not making a promise
to the land of Israel.
I can show you where God's a liar if you want, but this is something different right here.
Okay, give me scripture.
All right, I will in just a second, but this is God clearly changing his mind. So anyway, yeah, we'll get to this other one. All right, so now I'll read you a verse that straight up says God is going to put lying spirits in the mouth of his prophets.
Okay, and what scripture is that?
That is in 1 Kings chapter 22.
1 Kings 22?
Yep.
Any verses?
Yeah, well, I can read them, but the main verse there is 23.
Okay, is there anything that you want to add on to that? Or any other scriptures you want to add on to that?
Put lying spirits in the mouth of the prophets. So he's lying to King Ahab to entice him to battle so he'll fall, but God don't know how to do it. So he has like a little meeting in heaven where all these spirits get together with God and they're bouncing ideas off God to entice Ahab to battle so he'll fall. And one of the spirits finally pops up and he goes, "Hey, I got a great idea. Let's just lie to the motherfucker." And God's like, "I love it. Let's do that." It says,
okay, how about
in verse 23, It says, "So you see, the Lord has put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these your prophets. The Lord has decreed disaster for you."
Well, here's the thing. If God wanted to lie to Ahab and trick him into dying, then why did he send the prophet Micaiah to warn him? Why?
He didn't send Micaiah to warn him. He sent Micaiah to trick him.
No, he sent him to warn him. Because
what's he warning him about? What does Micaiah warn him about?
Okay, well, here's the thing. Okay, so Ahab honestly is surrounded by about 400 yes men. They're like prophets telling that he will win in the battle, but then God sends his he sends that prophet Micaiah to him, right? The revelation is that Micaiah explicitly tells Ahab, "I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and the Lord says, who will entice Ahab? And the spirit said, I will go forth and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets." But here's the logic trap right here, that God did not hide the lie. He exposed the lie to Ahab's face.
He lied.
No, he exposed it. No, he didn't. He didn't hide it.
Yes, he did.
Exposed the lie to
it says he put a lying spirit in the mouth of his prophets. I don't know how any of this isn't.
No, because
it's crazy to me that this isn't clear to you.
No, he told Ahab exactly what was going to happen in the spiritual realm.
He said, "Who is going to go entice Ahab?" And the spirit pipes up and said, I'll lie to him." And God said, "That's a great idea. Now go lie to him."
Okay.
Literally, that's what it says verbatim.
All right. Well, if God is a liar trying to trick Ahab, then why did he send Micaiah to reveal the plot? God gave Ahab
because God didn't know how to get him there he needed ideas on how to entice Ahab. That's the whole point of that. He's looking for ideas on how to entice Ahab to battle to fall, because God apparently don't know how to get him there to fall.
God honestly just gave Ahab the full truth. Your prophets are lying to you. Ahab chose to believe the lie because he wanted to go to war. That is on Ahab, not God.
He chose to believe the lie.
Because he wanted to go to war, and that is on Ahab.
You heard what you just said, right?
The text does not say that God lied. It said that God authorized.
It does say he lied.
It said that God authorized a spirit to use deception as a form of judgment. Okay, God has used broken
what was that deception
spirits to accomplish
what was
his
that deception?
Justice.
What was that deception that God used?
Ahab was a wicked king who had rejected God's truth.
What was the deception you just mentioned that God used? He wild on that keyboard.
He chose to believe.
He chose to believe what? He chose to believe the lie?
That the full truth. So if I come up to you and I say something.
Bro, it's so obvious. You're twisting yourself into pretzels to get out of this, but you've already straight up admitted it's a lie several times now.
Okay, for example,
if just admit you're wrong and God's lying here. This would be great.
No.
I think everybody had a lot more respect for you at this point if you
but I mean,
actually just admitted it.
I mean, here's the thing: if the police decided to set up a sting operation because someone was running a scam operation for years, and they used an undercover officer to feed the criminal false information to catch him in the act, to bring him to justice,
He's
would you
still
consider
lying.
the chief of police, a liar or immoral for that?
Yeah, cops are allowed to be professional liars. I understand that.
But is
This
he
is
a
saying God.
liar
This
or
is God,
immoral if
though,
he's
and the
trying
verse says
to?
God doesn't lie, and we clearly have a story where God is lying here.
But here's the thing: if there was a mission, if there's something that needs to be put out forth, again, if there was a sting operation and someone needed to set up to feed a criminal false information to catch him in the act and bring him to justice,
I understand that. That makes
does it make
sense.
him a
Yes, I
liar
agree
or
that cops
immoral?
lie to. Yes, he's lying. Yeah, it makes him a
No,
liar, even though it's
he's
a justified lie.
he's
He's still
using
a
a
liar.
tactic
That's what I
to
don't
bring
think you
judgment on
understand
a
here.
criminal who's
It
already
says he
chosen a
don't
life of
lie.
crime.
He's clearly lying. Like even you've said he's
God
lying several
essentially
times
just used a
now.
sting operation using Ahab's own lying prophets
Hey, I
against
get it.
him.
I get your rationale there. I understand and I agree with you. The point is, he's lying.
But this is like the most important part of the chapter. Like God didn't trick Ahab. God told
He
Ahab
did.
exactly. He told Ahab exactly what was happening. So,
No, he didn't.
for example, he sent Micaiah to tell Ahab, "Hey, these
Mullis,
prophets are lying to you."
listen. I
He heard
appreciate
the
you coming up,
truth.
man. But you've been really, really cool. But
Yeah.
and come back again sometime. But the queue is absolutely slam full of people right now. So I'm gonna give somebody else a chance to talk. You've admitted he's lying several times now. So I mean, we're really kind of done with that part because the point is he's lying. Like you can try to justify it for whatever reason. Lies can be justified, but he's lying. That's the whole point. It says he does not lie. Clearly, he does lie. Whether it's a justified lie or not, he's doing what the other passage said he didn't do. Anyway, so guys, 588. Let's see what we are. No new followers. Heck yeah. Appreciate everybody being here. Got almost 100 people in here right now. Well, that was a good first conversation. Clearly, we see how the context gets twisted. Yeah, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. I really do. That's the kind of conversation I like, man. Like a civil but, contentious debate. That's what we like here. That's how they all should go. You did wonderful. Great representative of the faith there. Great representative of the faith. But yeah, you admitted he lied, though, so technically you lost. So. But we do appreciate you, though. Dr. Josh, good morning, buddy. It's my best friend, y'all. Yeah, I tried not to, man. I really tried not to. You was being super cool. If I was being an asshole to you, that would make me a giant asshole, so. All right, well, we got a ton of people in the queue, so I'm going to start trying to bring them up, and we'll see what happens next. I guess I might run these topics all damn year. It seems to be my thing now, I guess. I don't think I've switched topics around and made a few ones, but we've kept the ones here for quite a while now. Yeah. Sorry, I'm still popping Dayquil, y'all. All right. Who was next here? I think maybe Chris is still here. Yeah. Chris, are you there?
I'm here, man. How you doing?
Doing good, buddy. Are you over 18?
Well over.
Good. Are you Christian? Thank you,
I am.
Bruce. Cool. So which one of these topics you want to debate us on? I appreciate you waiting. I know you've been waiting there for a minute.
Oh man, I just been sitting here listening. Like you said, the last guy was, a good. Definitely knows a lot more than I do. You gotta understand, I from Tennessee, raised in the Bible Belt. Just God,
Same.
family, and country. Raised my whole life.
So what do we got
honestly,
to do to talk you out of it?
give me your point of view. I mean, this, and when I say this, I say it like this. I'm open minded. I listen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to dismiss anything. Just help me understand what it is you see.
Okay. Well, tell me which one of these topics up here you feel the strongest about, and I'll tell you why. Why I can prove what these are.
Narcissist.
That was by far the most popular.
The whole time I've been sitting here, I haven't even read that. I haven't read this at all.
I
Christians
knew
are
this.
under the law, and sinners do not know God. I'm gonna go with topic 2. Well, no,
Which one was that?
I don't know. I mean, for me, I've always been asked, "Are you a God fearing man?" Uh,
Well, if I
and
could show you that God is an unjust narcissist and nobody should worship this God, would you consider joining us in the realm of atheism?
I wouldn't know what that consisted of or what that actually meant.
Atheism just means you don't believe in any gods.
So would that
The
mean
rest
that
is
I'm
up for
just?
interpretation.
So would that mean that I would be believing in that we're just here out of spontaneous of evolution, just some poof, big bang?
That is what that means. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
I
you
would
don't
have.
have to believe that, but like I said, atheism is just the position you don't believe in gods. Anything else is up for debate. Hell,
Okay.
you could be a Buddhist and believe in reincarnation.
Can I come back
Still
as
be an
yoga
atheist
pants?
as long as you don't believe in a god. You know what I mean?
If I could come back as some yoga pants, I don't know. Uh,
There you go.
I don't know, man. Respectfully, like I said, I would want out of all the documents and hundreds of followers and believers and this book that you seem to be very, very, very keen on. Like you seem to read it very well and understand it and put a lot of time into it. I'm
It's pretty
having
clear if you just read it.
well
That's most
the way
people's
it's
problem. They don't actually read it. And the ones who do read it apply the meaning that they want it to mean and not what it actually says.
you have to forgive
Like
my senior
earlier,
education.
like
I don't understand it very well.
well, I mean, it's easy. Like it says, Bethlehem of Ephrathah, who are
Uh,
one of the little clans of Judah. It's telling you Bethlehem is a clan of Judah, is it not? That's not
it
hard to
is.
understand. I
Well,
mean, I only got a seventh grade education, man, and this is crystal clear to me.
I mean, maybe I just don't put the words together very well. Like I said, you got to understand. I was raised in fire, brim, and whatever. What's however the saying
Yeah, you were
is.
indoctrinated like I was. Yeah.
Uh, so it's I'm to even think that that's not even real or anything for me. It's just can't even. I never thought it. Never even tried it.
Well, can I show you where God is an unjust narcissist, and then maybe we can go from there?
I too. I'm here.
All right. So, do you know what you know what a narcissist is?
I do. My wife.
Huh?
Sorry. It's what my
Your
wife
wife's a
calls me all the
narcissist?
No, what my wife calls me all the time.
Oh,
Excellent.
we got a little
Sorry.
dog that's probably the biggest narcissist on the planet, actually. But
Go ahead.
anyway, a narcissist is just somebody who's extremely self-centered and don't care what
Yes.
anybody else thinks, right?
Yes.
Okay. So all through the Old Testament, are you aware that it says God does everything he does for God, for his own glory, for his own name? Sounds like a narcissist, right?
Would you consider a king the same way?
A king's probably a narcissist, yeah. Not necessarily. There were plenty of like benevolent kings, I think, throughout history.
Just curiosity. I believe. I mean,
So I
our
mean,
Lord the
even that's kind of a
Almighty.
gray area, but
I can
we're
see
talking
what you're
about a
saying.
God here who claims to love everybody and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But in the Old Testament, it says he does everything for him, for his own purposes, for his
It
own
says those
glory.
words.
Yeah,
Okay.
it says he made the Israelites for his own glory. Like, hold on a second, I'll read you something here.
wasn't that the flood that because of out of our he made us out of his likeness or image and stuff like that that's why he got rid of all the evilness and stuff.
I don't know what evil he got rid of, but
I mean,
uh,
that.
hold on a second.
Like I said, man, I probably sound real stupid right now.
Yeah,
Probably the worst
Yeah,
person
sound
to
pretty normal.
debate this.
well,
I feel like one of those people that
says
the
here in
news.
Ezekiel 36, it says, "Therefore say to the house of Israel, thus says the Lord God, it is not for your sake, O Israel, that I am about to act, but for the sake of my holy name, which you have profaned among the nations to which you came." Like he's saying, I will sanctify my name. He's saying, I'm not doing
Mhm.
shit for you. He's saying, this is for me. I'm doing it for me. It says that in Isaiah too. Isaiah chapter 48. It says, for my own sake I do this, so that my name may not be profaned. God can't let his holy name be besmirched to the other nations of the Middle East there, you know.
Well, I can't quote the scripture, but I do know that it also says that God gave his only begotten son to die on the cross.
Yeah, it says a lot of crazy stuff.
I mean, well, could that not be one of the crazy things?
Well, that never happened.
Okay.
God only ever says you have to keep the law to please me. Like the whole reason God is so mad in the Old Testament is because people stopped keeping the law.
And the law is the Ten
The law
Commandments.
of Moses. That's well, there's way
Yes.
more than 10. Jesus
But
even names them.
uh like I said,
You
man,
remember what Jesus said the two greatest commands are?
I know you're not supposed to blaspheme.
Well, it says one of them is love your neighbor as yourself is one of the most important ones, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
That's not a 10 commandment though, is it?
I'm sitting here trying to. Like I said, man, I'm gonna sound ignorant. I feel like the people that the news always finds when there's something wrong, they find the most ignorant person and they put the camera on that person to stand in front. And nobody got time for that. That's what I feel like right now.
Well, I hear you, but I think it's pretty clear that God does stuff for God and nobody else, and demand you have to keep His horrible laws to please Him.
Then why are we here?
Because we were born. We're here whether we like it or not. But you don't have
So
to be here.
do you feel God is real?
No, I'm an atheist.
Well,
And if God was real, it wouldn't be this God. And even if it was this God, there's no point in worshiping this God because this God is absolutely horrible and violates his own rules constantly.
Jimmy B says I should read the book. I can't read.
Do what?
Jimmy B says, Chris, you should read the book. I should.
Yeah, you should probably read it.
I should. I probably should. Definitely.
The Bible's the
definitely
biggest
should.
atheist maker that ever existed.
Could you prove to me that he's not real though? I mean, besides everything that's bad.
Well, I can show you all these prophecies that clearly don't happen. So, I mean, if God is real and he's declaring these prophecies, something's bad wrong here because these prophecies ain't happening.
There are audio versions. Yes, thank you, buddy.
Oh, don't pay attention to them. They're all crazy.
Like I said, man, I'm just having a conversation with you.
They're jumping on both of us.
Yeah. If you look, there's what all these. Well, I don't know. I could debate
You want me to
that
give you
myself.
like a culmination of what the actual Old Testament was actually trying to teach, and then I'll give you a quick rundown of how we know this didn't happen?
Go ahead, man.
All right, so in the culmination of the Old Testament, there's a lot of stuff that goes on that leads up to like Jeremiah and Isaiah and stuff like that, right? The Babylonian captivity. So the culmination of these prophecies, the best way I like to explain it is by saying the difference between Jews and Christians is that Christians have to proselytize and Jews don't. And the reason that Jews don't have to proselytize is because when these prophecies come true, then the whole world is coming to Yahweh, whether they proselytize or not. So they're basically looking at it as there's no need to proselytize when the whole world's about to know God anyhow. So there's a really big difference between Judaism and Christianity. And the reason that is because if these prophecies were true, when these exiles leave Babylon, there's a new covenant formed with them. And the new covenant is that the law is going to be written on their hearts and on their minds, right? But God says certain things are going to happen here when this new covenant is formed. And it says if they stop happening, it's over. And so I'll explain that now. So he forms the new covenant in Jeremiah chapter 31. And this is what it says in verse 36 right after that. And it says, if this fixed order were to ever cease from my presence, says the Lord, then also the offspring of Israel will cease to be a nation before me forever. So right after that, there's some stuff that's supposed to happen when this goes down. So Jerusalem gets rebuilt and enlarged. And it says in the last line after the city is rebuilt, it says, it shall never again be uprooted or overthrown. So there's a prophecy that was supposed to came to fruition over 2,500 years ago. And Clearly, that didn't happen because Jerusalem has been overthrown. I don't know, about
Multiple
1,000 times since
dozen.
then.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
exactly.
yes,
Exactly.
yes.
So here's the next part. It says, "The days are surely coming, says the Lord, when I will
Mhm.
fulfill the promise that I made to the house of Israel and to the house of Judah. In those days and at that time, I will cause a righteous branch to spring up for David, and he shall execute justice and righteousness in the land. In those days, Judah will be saved, and Jerusalem will live in safety. And his name, and this is the name by which it will be called, the Lord is our righteousness. For thus says the Lord, David shall never lack a man to sit on the throne of the house of Israel, and the Levitic priest shall make the Levitic priest shall never lack a man in my presence to make burnt offerings, to make grain offerings, and to make sacrifices for all time." So there's three things God is
Mhm.
saying is going to happen here. Jerusalem's never going to be uprooted or overthrown again. The throne
Um,
of David will never lack a man to sit on the throne ever again, and the Levitic priests are going to make sacrifices for all time. So, which one of those are still going on today? The answer is none.
None. I know the answer. I know the answer.
Yeah,
That's
it's zero.
silence. Silence. I had nothing. No,
So
but
this is like the biggest prophecy in the Bible. Like Isaiah is literally saying the same thing. It's about the Babylonian captivity. And clearly these things did not happen. These are covenants that have clearly been broken. And according to what it says, if they are broken, then it's over forever. So why believe any of it? This is why I'm not a Jew or a Christian.
so you don't believe there's evil or there's good or evil. You just believe. I was speaking in the comments. That's the question I asked. Do you believe that there's good or in evil, or do you just believe, as there was an individual said, just
There's a
behavior?
concept of good and evil. I mean, that's just morality. It's like what's
Okay.
good and what's wrong.
Okay.
But there's no God given evil or good according to God. I mean, it's just clearly.
I just. This is gonna sound dumb when I say this, but is the Earth flat or round? Let me ask you this. I know it's
The earth
stupid.
is
I know it's
spherical.
off. It's okay. I know that sounds stupid. All I'm saying is like it's. Okay, I
Well, the
can't put
Bible
it into
says it's
words.
flat. You don't think the
Yeah, I
earth's
did.
flat, do you?
No, not at all. Not at all.
The
Um,
Bible does.
uh, you
It says
could
the
point
earth
that
is
out to
formed
me.
like clay beneath the seal. It's squished flat. It's a flat disc. That's what a seal
Clay
is.
could be round. Hold on, clay could be round.
It can be round, but it can't be a ball. It's stamped into a flat disc.
It says what? Could you quote it for
That's
me,
what
please?
seals are. They're stamped. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I see what you said. Yes.
Yeah. Just Google look up what the seal of Hezekiah. Look at some ancient
Yes, sir.
Israelite seals.
Oh yeah, I
They're all
know.
flat discs.
I know what a seal made out of wax normally and stuff like that. Yes.
Well, like clay and
Uh,
stuff.
whatever. But respectfully, man, I I'm strong in my faith. I just know that I should read the book a lot more, get a better
Are
understanding
you
for
so
myself.
are you so strong in your faith that you'll reject all reason and words here?
I won't reject the Father.
Okay. In
I
the
mean,
face
just
of all these things not making any sense, you'll keep this faith.
I asked a pastor once. I said, "How? Why can't God just show me that He's real? Why can't you just prove it to me?
Wouldn't
Why?
that be
Why
great?
wouldn't it? Why can't you just prove to me?" And that's when he gave me the definition of faith. And
Believing shit without any reason.
yes,
Congratulations.
I mean, yeah, I would appreciate it
Yeah,
if you don't
dude,
insult me about it.
there is no, well, I don't mean it as an insult, but there's no other way to say it. Like, why would you be proud of something like that? You wouldn't accept that in any other circumstance except for this religion. Like, why not just have faith in the Quran or in Muhammad?
It's a great question. I've wondered the same thing.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean,
I
it's simple
question.
logic,
I
man.
question everything. I question everything.
Well, you
But
should, but you're saying, what's the point in questioning something if you're going to hold the position no matter what?
that's a
You
good
might as well
question.
not question it.
uh, Upbringing. How about I just instilled just out of fear? How about that? right?
I understand it. I was
That's
there,
what y'all.
buddy. I was a Christian until I was almost 30 years old. Trust me, I was horrified as a child. Like every thought that I had, I thought was going to piss off God. And that is no fucking way to live. It's horrible.
Like I said at the beginning, I said I've always been asked, "Are you a God-fearing man?" And I've always wondered, like, why should I fear God?
Well, we're humans, man. We have irrational fears. The thing
And
is to know that it's irrational, and then you can get over it. You know what I mean?
I understand that. And I like I said, I respectfully speak, and just I wish I could be more educated. I feel how ignorant I sound.
Well, you
So
can be. You just got to do the actual reading.
I'm planning on doing it. And I appreciate this
Trust
talk,
me, you'll
man.
feel much better about yourself when you accept reality over holding a position in the face of all the reason against it. You know what I mean?
Well, I can tell you this: I don't have any explanation or reasoning on the things that have went good for me in my life when I've turned to that book, when I've put faith, and I've walked this line into the instructions. There's been a lot of good that's come out of it. When I didn't, there was a lot of bad, and that's just life. That's life experiences for myself,
I get it.
and that's disrespectfully saying it. That's the best way I could put it to you.
I understand. I know what you're saying.
I hope you have a great,
But it doesn't
great
make this true,
afternoon.
though. Yeah, you too,
Huh?
man. Thanks for
And
coming up. Hey, thanks for listening this long, too, man. I talked to that first guy for a while. He was waiting the whole time. He was in the queue right after that guy, so he's been there for a minute. Well, the second day of the year so far. We're actually having we're 2 for 2 on decent conversations. What is happening here? What is happening? Maybe it's just like that balance of the universe. Because yesterday a dude literally said the most disgusting shit I've ever heard in my life, and I've heard a lot of disgusting shit, but yesterday my mind got fucking blown with that one motherfucker. And I don't even want to repeat it. Y'all can go watch my YouTube channel, Apostate Ape, on the one I posted yesterday. Listen to what the words that came out of that motherfucker's mouth. That was fucking wild. He's literally the only person I've ever blocked just for having such a disgusting opinion on. I mean, wow. Wow. I'm sure some of y'all heard that yesterday. Wow. It's crazy that like you hear this stuff all the time and then somebody comes along and just makes it that much worse. Just blows your mind that much further. Like it's a real thing. All right. Well, I've still got, let's see, I've still got an hour and 15 minutes, so we got plenty of time. I don't even want to repeat it, man. Like yesterday, it literally made me like physically sick when he said that shit. But he was defending child slavery, basically. Let me put it that way: child captive slavery for young virgin girls. And the crazy part was I didn't even bring that part up. He just threw that out there. Like, I would have probably got to that, to be fair, but holy crap. It wasn't even up at the time. He just started talking about it. He took it upon himself there. Anyway, everybody, I appreciate the shit out of all the engagement today. There's a ton of people here, ton of screen taps. I'm almost to 1,600 followers now, up from the gigantic number of 11. Absolutely, sure, it was disgusting. Like I couldn't even. Like I've touted all the time that this is a free speech thing. Like as long as you're capable of a conversation, I'll let you say whatever crazy shit you want to say up here, as long as it's on topic and in a conversational manner. And yesterday, like, call me a hypocrite, whatever you want. My ears and my mind could not digest the disgustingness that was coming out of that motherfucker's mouth, man. Darth Dawkins. That ain't the real Darth Dawkins, is it? We've talked to him before. No, he's got more. No, that can't be the actual Darth Dawkins. He's got more followers than that. I was about to bring up Darth Dawkins. There's a Darth Dawkins in the queue right now. Actually, let's just try it. Fuck it.
No, I'm the real Darth Dawkins.
You are?
Yeah.
No, I guess what's
I've
up,
been
Darth?
listening to your streams, and you make a lot of metaphysical and theological mistakes in your reasoning, but I'll just go through them one at a time. The biggest
Which
one
one are
is,
we talking about there?
well,
Specifically?
I'm just talking about it collectively.
Oh,
So
okay.
in the Christian worldview, God is the final referent. Okay, since God is the single causal first principle, whatever is true and false would depend upon God being the referent. Okay, so do you understand that model?
I understand your thinking on that.
Okay, so in the Christian worldview, something cannot be true or false without God being the final referent. You understand that?
I mean, I get your position. I don't understand it. But
I'm not getting a clear response. In the Christian model of reality, God is the single causal first principle. Therefore, whatever
sure.
would be true or false within the model of the Christian worldview, it would have to have God as its final referent.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, do you understand that?
I'm saying I
Now,
get it, like the Christian mind frame. I don't
okay, so
understand that,
you
but I
understand
get what you're saying.
you understand the principle, all right? Now, when you
Yep.
reject the Christian worldview, you're speaking from a not Christian worldview, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so A, not A. Now, what is your ultimate causal principle that will function as your referent in order to assert that anything is true or false?
If it lines up with reality or not.
Reality is a term of abstraction. Does reality mean everything?
I don't know. It means reality.
When you
The
say
actual
reality,
world we
does
live
that
in is what I'm
refer
referring to there.
Yeah, I'm not getting a clear answer. When you say reality, okay,
I don't do many Philbro
look,
arguments, man. I just argue about the
can
Bible
you not
contradictions and
interrupt
logic
me?
and stuff like that. I could, but I probably will sometimes. That's why it says I'll interrupt where needed right here.
Well, there's no need so far for you to interrupt because I'm not being long-winded. You're just interrupting
I'm
me.
not trying to do it to like be
Oh my,
rude and
yeah,
frustrating.
dude, are you not
Clarifying stuff.
self-aware how you have been
This is why I kicked you last
gratuitously-
time you came on, because we barely made it
yeah,
through
the
two
last time.
sentences and
Wow,
started
dude,
crying
do
like
you
this.
have? Look, I'm going to be a straight shooter with you. Okay, I'm really not trying to be antagonistic, but are you not self-aware about how rude you are?
No, I mean, I'm sure you consider it rude. I don't think I'm being
Okay,
rude.
you see, this is your problem, right? You're being rude. Okay, dude, I'm not going to keep on doing this. This is what happened the last time I came on here. You're just rude and you're obnoxious. Okay, you can laugh all you
All right,
want.
well, thanks for coming up,
Okay,
though.
all right, yeah,
We
you're
appreciate you.
a complete.
Mr. Dawkins there. Well, thank you, Mr. Darth. Thanks for coming up, buddy. It went about like, oh, we made it longer than we did last time, actually. What a crash out. Like, what a shame. It's really a shame, too. I mean, it really is. Like, I'm sure there's lots of people that think I'm ruder than Darth does, and they stay on here and talk. Like, what the fuck, man? It'd be cool to talk to him, but we gotta, literally, the one thing I ask the people is that you can keep a conversation going. Whether you think I'm rude or not. I mean, crying about me being rude. All right, who was next here? I think it was Carrie. There's 9 guests in the queue, though, so let me go ahead and start bringing them up. I could have swore Darth Dawkins had way more followers than that. Maybe it was a different account or something. That was definitely him, though. Absolutely. I thought he had more like 30 or 40,000 followers, though. That said he only had 1.8. Maybe it's just a different account or something. I don't know. Being rude. You're so rude. How long has that dude been around? And like he's still crying about me being rude? Like, was I that bad? Like, come on. All right, well, that person wasn't there, so let's try Katrina. Gotta give it a second. I mean, I understand. I get taken as rude. Like, I know there's just some things you can't say about Christianity without coming off rude. Like, I get that, but like, I'm not like attacking the person. I'm not being like, "Hey, you dumb fucking retard!" But no, so hard. Like, that's not what I'm doing here. Like, it wasn't that bad. Don't get that very much. Yeah. All right. Let's keep running through here. I say it all the time, y'all. I get a slight bit of awkward silence because I get lagged a lot, so I have to give it a second after I try to bring somebody up that's not actually there. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate y'all. Maybe I am, Darth. I wish we could actually have a conversation about it. I don't know. I certainly don't think I'm perfect. Hell, I admitted I did something hypocritical just yesterday, just a second ago. If I am wrong about myself, I'll be the first to admit it here in front of everybody. I don't mind. I don't get embarrassed too much. I mean, I did MMA for nearly a decade, and I've literally had my ass kicked in front of like 3,000 people. Like, this ain't so bad. Like, this ain't near as bad as that. Ain't near as bad as that. Hell, I talked to P. Mars for like 45 minutes the other day. Like, why couldn't we? He only called me a bitch once, but he never said I was really being rude, did he? Alright, let's try the next one here. Thank you for the follow. Apparently the dog sees something in the damned yard. Alright, let's try this one then. Still got a ton of people in the queue. I'm just like I said, give me a minute for the awkward silence here. The show's not gone away. I just have to have to give it a second. Yeah, I mean, I would love to actually talk to Darth, but I'm not even sure I'm the best one, honestly, because I don't do a lot of philosophical stuff. And I mean, like, so I may not even be the best one to debate him on philosophical stuff because it's not the type of thing I do. I don't know big words, man. I'm just an average old bear. Like, I'm just an average person that knows when words don't come out right, they don't line up right. Something's wrong. You know. All right, let's try the next one. I actually don't like Monkey Boy's channel. He does philosophical arguments for God, and I actually like listening to those. I just don't feel like they get to like. I like the got you moments, kind of like not necessarily to be like I got you antagonistically, but like a black and white thing, like who's right and who's wrong. You know what I mean? With philosophical arguments, I don't think it's near as easy to get to all that. Let me I'll tell you what. Give me 2 seconds before I bring up this next person. Let me try to shut these damn dogs up. Silly dogs. Yo, thank you. I appreciate that. Walk away and get some gifts. Hell, y'all all right, man. What a crowd that we got to here. God, we're building an awesome little community and crowd here. All right, let's try to keep going here. Still got an hour. Over an hour, actually. It's wild all non-believers act so childish and mature. Do they? That's funny. Alright, well. Let's try Ryan Bruce. Man, how many people? What, there's 7 people now. We still haven't got one to stick. Nobody hung around. Let's try Robbie's music. Oh, there's somebody.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up, Robbie? Are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 34.
Awesome. Are you Christian?
I have been all my life, and I would say I love God. You know, I don't have all the answers.
Kind of unsure about that.
Well, you know, everything we know from God, we've heard from man. You know, even the Bible. I mean, it was written by man, and then it was translated from another language. So, things can get lost in translation.
So I believe any of it.
Yeah, and I understand that, that idea. I'm more of, I don't know why we're here necessarily, but I'm grateful we're here, and if God put us here, I love God for it. When we die, I don't necessarily, we could go to heaven, even in the Bible, it says God created the heaven and earth in the beginning.
Hey,
It
sorry,
doesn't
Robbie.
say he
Just a
created
second.
heaven and
Jason,
hell.
if you're sorry, 1 second, Robbie. Sorry about that. Jason, if you're a Christian and you want to come up, put a 1 or a yes in the chat, and I'll bring you up. Just mute up for a second. We'll try a double panel again. Anyway, go ahead, Robbie. Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, you're good, man. You're good. Yeah. So like when we die, when we die, our brains severed. We're not gonna go to heaven and know we're in heaven, but our spirit can go to heaven.
It doesn't sound like it's you actually going to heaven.
Well, it says, supposedly, energy can never be created or destroyed. I don't know, if we're reincarnated or whatever, but, I see, like a lot of your things up there and just the way you're talking, and it's, it seems like you're very kind of against God,
and this God's awful. This God should never be worshipped, in my opinion, because it's a narcissistic, unjust, evil barbarian of a deity.
Well, assuming the Bible is right, ultimately we're
If it is right,
forgiven.
it's even scarier.
Well, we're forgiven for our sins, so we're going to heaven, right?
If you keep God's law.
Well, technically Jesus, and this is a joke I say sometimes, and it's, it can be taken wrong, but technically Jesus died on the cross, so we're forgiven for all of our sins. So, we're almost, if we don't sin, technically Jesus died for nothing. So,
yeah.
Don't want it to be in vain.
Don't want to, can't have that.
So there's that.
Do you know what sin is?
Technically, I guess it would be breaking God's laws.
Technically, you're right.
But, there again, it's,
I just threw Christians up, Jason. Sorry about that, man.
Everything we know about, everything we know about God, like I said, we've been told by man. I'm not willing to completely exclude him as a possibility at all.
That's fine, but even if this God is real and this book is right, this God is still an awful, awful deity for what he does to people in this book.
Well,
have you read it? How much of the Bible have you read?
I haven't, I made it to page 86, starting off. So, not
86 pages of the Bible?
Yeah, I was younger and I was like, I'm going to read the Bible.
No wonder you're a Christian.
Well, I made it to Leviticus and it just kept repeating and I was like, I grew up, I was kind of in and out of church, but, it was a good experience, but, I also, I see the corruption in Christianity. I've got a good friend who's, I would say he's the epitome of a good Christian. Like, he believes in God and, like he's making good money, but he helps people. Like, if he sees somebody in need, he goes out of his way and and he gives all of his glory to God. Everything, and it's
You
just
have him
like,
come up and give me some money?
if he saw that you needed it and you were hurting, I have no doubt in
I'm
my
hurting
mind.
bad. I need money.
But I mean, it's just,
You're not as good a
people.
Christian as him? Is that what you're saying right now?
Oh, no way. No,
So you're definitely not giving me any money there, right?
no shot, buddy.
No.
I don't got
What
it like
Jesus
that.
said is if anybody wants to borrow from you and they ask, you have to let them borrow, according to Jesus. So, do you care what Jesus said?
Well, you can't give what you don't got.
That's true. That's true.
You know.
If you had the money, would you give it to me?
To be honest, probably not. I mean,
Well, you don't follow Jesus, buddy, so you might as well join us in reality and be an atheist.
yeah, and I get that, but at the same time, you gotta work. You gotta work, and you gotta do what you gotta do. I've got
Bro,
two kids.
you are making all the Christians in the who's watching this right now. You're making all of their fucking heads explode.
Yeah, well, I am but a man. I mean, we're all human. We do the best we can, and
To be
I
a
don't
Christian,
think-
don't you actually like follow Jesus? Ain't that what Christian means? It means you're Christ-like. That means you do what Christ says.
Yeah, the goal is to be like Jesus, and in the Christian faith, is turn the other cheek and all that. But Bible also says, Jesus was the only one who was perfect. None of us, even if we try, we're not going to be as good as, and
You could just
maybe.
listen to the man and do it. I mean, that's kind of what you're supposed to do, right?
Well, yeah, but we also.
So you choose not to be Christ-like.
I mean, I guess you could put it like that, but Jesus also had nothing and was okay with it. I've got two kids. Like, I'm not gonna let my kids do without, so that I can give the
I
world
wouldn't either.
what little bit I have.
Yeah, no shit. I hear you.
And I mean, God.
But hey, I hear you, dude. I'm with you. But the fact is, you're making Jesus angry.
I mean, the good thing about it is he died on the cross, so that's okay.
Is it?
I mean, he understands. If he knows all, he knows what was going to happen and how it was going to happen.
Jesus says, if you don't keep the law better than the teachers and the Pharisees, then you will not enter the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, but then he died on the cross, and I'm forgiven for
Okay,
that.
where does Jesus say after I die, none of this stuff that I said before matters?
Well, that goes back to that's what's in the Bible. Was he was God gave his only begotten Son so that we may all enter the kingdom of heaven. Then
Where did
again, the
Jesus say
Bible was
that?
written by man.
Yeah.
So it all comes back to you can have faith, and to be totally honest, I hope heaven's real. I would love to think that after this life, I get to go see my wife and kids someday and be waiting for them and all that. There again, like I said, when our brain's severed, we don't know anything. If we're brain dead but still alive in the hospital, we're not just in heaven, we're still alive. We don't know anything, but our spirit, assuming God is real and everything, our spirit's what would go to heaven. And I don't know. I don't know.
Just it's so easy. All you got to do is believe it, right?
I don't know. Like I said, man, I'm not
Is there
going to
anything you do know about this religion?
No, man, no. I mean, my wife is more. My wife is definitely more on
You're
the
supposed to
atheist.
rule over your wife according to God.
Me and my wife are a team, and
Yeah,
I
but you're
try
supposed to
to.
rule over her according to the Bible. She's supposed to be subservient to you.
Well, and I've also seen that,
You don't seem like much of a Christian for real, except for
the
believing in Jesus
the
died.
the Hebrew the Hebrew word for servant is a different meaning. Like that's where the lost in translation happens. I can't remember what the word is, but I've seen the videos. I'm sure you've probably seen videos about it. But it's like the Hebrew word that they use for servant is actually technically means helper, and it's like a respectful term, as in like she's your helper to do the things that you're unable to do.
Yeah, that's not what that means.
I mean, I like I said, man,
Or that's
I
not what it
don't
says,
have
I
all
should
the
say.
answers, and I don't try to have all the answers, assuming,
Well, a debate
God
stage might not be the best place for you, honestly.
do what?
I said a debate stage might not be the best place for you, honestly.
Well, I mean, I just, I see the,
This says, yet your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. This is Genesis 3 when he punishes Eve for eating the fruit.
well, then if they pick a good husband, things can work
In the
out a lot
Bible,
better.
you can take a wife from war captives.
Well, I mean that was
You don't
was
think it's
that
okay to kidnap women as plunder in a war, do you? And force them to marry you?
absolutely not at all. But
Doesn't sound like you agree with this God very much.
I mean, if you ask any Christian person in the whole world, they're gonna say no, that's not okay.
No, I hear a bunch of them say it's okay. A lot on here, actually.
Well,
One of the main
they're
reasons I do this channel is because of fucked up mind frames like that.
I mean, yeah, they're batshit crazy, like that's.
Well,
I mean,
they're
there's
going with what the Bible says, man. Like, you're literally calling people who's agreeing with the Bible and agreeing with God batshit crazy.
yeah, well, like I said, dude, I think a lot of it is lost in translation and the things that, like I said,
Then why believe
anything
any
that
of
we
it? Why
know.
adhere to a God that's having babies dashed to pieces and women raped for crimes that says you can take child virgin schmeck slaves as war captives? Like, this is horrible, horrible stuff.
Yeah, well, and I'm not justifying any of it by any means, but it was also, I
Thank
mean,
you.
it was written in a time where, I mean, dude, back in the day, humans were barbaric.
Yeah, no
I mean,
shit. This God was barbaric because he was making them do this barbaric stuff.
I mean, people were fucked up. I mean, you look even, 400 years
Yeah,
ago.
but God made them be fucked up.
God also gave everyone free will.
No, he didn't.
I mean, I can do
That's
anything
not biblical
I want.
either.
I can do anything I want. God won't
You might
physically
have a
stop me.
choice,
He gives us.
but you
He
can't.
gives us.
If there's a choice that says love me or burn, then that's a coerced decision, not a free one.
Yeah, but he still gives us the free will to worship him or not. Like
No, he
I
gives
don't
you an
believe all the
ultimatum.
I don't believe all the people in China are all going to hell because they don't believe in Jesus Christ the Savior because their parents have told them,
So you don't even. It doesn't even sound like you agree with what the Bible says in pretty much any case. I think you
I
can
mean,
have your own ideal of what this religion is, and you claim that, but when it actually comes to the actual doctrine and what's happening here, you seem way, way off. You don't.
I mean, and that's fair, but at the same time, call him what you want. You can call him God, you can call him Allah, you can call him whatever you want. It doesn't.
Allah means God.
Whoever. Assuming there is a God and somebody put us here, I'm grateful for him. I've got my 2 little boys, my wife. Like, there's so much to be grateful for. I mean, I've been I've been messed up on drugs. You know, half of my friends are dead, and I've done way more. You know, way more drugs than them.
You can't say the D word, buddy. Sorry. Anyway, we had him up for a minute, but hey, man, it doesn't sound like you're a Christian anyway. It sounds like you're just kind of claiming you have this idea of Christianity, and that's what you're claiming. But you, besides believing in Jesus, arguably, you haven't said a single Christian thing this whole time. But hey, man, thanks for coming up. You were really cool to talk to. You were honest. You're going to make a great atheist one day because you don't believe the Bible anyway. So might as well accept it. Join us in reality here. All right, let's try the next one. I've still got 50 minutes, 49 minutes actually, but let's see here. Is there any gifters in here? Let's try TJ. Is there everybody?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's up, man? Are you over 18?
Yep, I'm 24.
You're a Christian?
I am. Well, I don't like that term. I like a follower of Christ, but yeah.
Well, that's what Christian means.
Well, worldly. Well, that's the label they give us. But no, that's not Christian. You have so many denominations of Christianity. It's ridiculous. So, follower of Christ is what I go with.
That's cool. So, which one of these topics you want to debate us on here?
Jesus fulfills no prophecy. The Lord of Man fulfills 0 prophecies. Filled over 48 direct prophecies from the Old Testament.
All right, well, show us
over 300.
Oh, peek up.
You have Micah 5:2. Claims
say that again. You cut out a little bit.
Micah 5:2, which claims to be born in Bethlehem.
Oh yeah, we read that one already today. Actually, that's a good one.
Isaiah 7:14.
It doesn't say Bethlehem's a town. It says it's a clan.
Bethlehem was a geographical place, biblical.
It says, "But you, O Bethlehem of Ephrathah, who are one of the little clans of Judah, from you shall come forth from me one is to rule in Israel, whose origin is from old, from ancient days." It literally just said it's a clan.
So, would you agree that Israel is a geographical place in the Bible time?
That Israel is a geographical place?
Yeah, Israel is a physical place.
It's an area.
No. Okay, so Israel in the Bible is a people.
Well, Israel is the nation, the people. Yeah.
Is a people. Yeah. So I mean, you could go. We can get into how the Bible describes.
Well, either way, this says Bethlehem is a clan, not a town.
You could say what you want about that.
That's what it says.
Isaiah 7:14 says he'd be born of a virgin.
Well, we can get to that one. Yeah, that's a great one, actually. But this said, I'm literally reading it right now. But you, O Bethlehem of Ephrathah, who are one of the little clans of Judah. It's literally saying this is a little clan of Judah.
I mean, it's still a place. It was definitely.
Is a clan a town?
It's still a place. I mean,
is a clan a town?
That's like asking. Is Israel a people? Is a nation of people rather than a place? That's a slow question. It could be.
Answer it?
It could be. There could be a town of.
Okay, well, show us any reference where in the Hebrew Bible where it says a clan actually means a town as well.
Like I said, that's like asking whether Israel is a place or a people.
All right. Well, we'll take a concession on that one. So let's go to Isaiah now. Oops. All right. So why do you think Isaiah 7's about Jesus?
Because it's a prophecy saying that the Messiah would be born of a virgin.
Where does it say Messiah anywhere in Isaiah chapter 7?
This whole prophecy is talking about a coming Messiah.
No, it's not. It's about the Assyrian invasion in Judah. Have you read Isaiah chapter 7?
I've read Isaiah, yes.
Have you read chapter 7?
This Isaiah is a specific prophecy talking about the coming Son of God, the coming Messiah.
Where does it ever say that?
It's not that you have to look at what the whole book is talking. You have to look about.
I know I talk about Isaiah all the time. I know what it's about.
There's parts in Isaiah that does talk
about the Assyrian invasion, and the child called Emmanuel is Isaiah's son.
This is a specific prophecy about Christ coming Well, they didn't
Don't
know it
say
was
squat
Christ at
about
the time
Christ. It don't say squat about a Messiah. This is about the
because
Assyrian invasion into Judah. It's a prophecy to King Ahaz. And it doesn't say virgin to begin with. I always take up. His signal's really bad. Darn. Arr. Darn. TJ, your signal is really, really bad, man. Unfortunately. Dan, right. It says young woman. It says ha'amah hara. That means young woman is pregnant. Present tense. Is pregnant. And it's Isaiah's son. So Emmanuel, being Isaiah's son, is not Jesus. No, you were cupped out, man. You wasn't even showing up at all. It was saying you had no signal on the thing here. Anyway, good Lord, 9 people up in here. We got 44 minutes. So, try Norman here. The queue's slammed right now. Here, I'll try you again. If you take up again, I think you'll have to get some Wi-Fi or something, TJ.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Isaiah 7 is a conversation between God and King Ahaz, telling him not to worry about the Assyrians invading, giving them a sign that...
Why does that possibly have to do with the coming Messiah 700 years later?
Well, if you would have let me finish, I would have told you.
Go ahead.
He promises them a sign that they're going to fail and that someone is coming and going to be born of a virgin, and his name will be Emmanuel, not Messiah, which means God is with us. That's a prophecy.
Yeah, it's a prophecy to King Ahaz, and he's saying by the time this child called Emmanuel knows how to refuse evil and choose good, the 2 kings who are attacking you are going to fall.
Where does it say that?
That's the whole prophecy.
Where does it say that?
It says it right after it. Right, it's verse 15 and 16.
To choose evil and do good.
Yeah.
Read it.
Says he shall eat curds and honey, and by the time he knows how to refuse the evil and choose the good, the land before whose 2 kings you are in dread will be deserted. That's it. That's the whole prophecy.
Okay, so that's the prophecy. Now you're agreeing that that's a prophecy. It's not talking just about the Assyrian invasion.
I never said it wasn't a prophecy. It's definitely a prophecy, but it's not a messianic prophecy. This isn't talking about a Messiah. Emmanuel is Isaiah's son.
No.
Yeah.
That's the name. Oh my God. His name will be Emmanuel. Christ.
Yeah, it says you will name him Emmanuel. And it says in the next chapter, they cry out Emmanuel. And Isaiah even says these children
so you're saying Isaiah's
are
son,
signs and portents to Israel.
So you're saying Isaiah's son was born of a virgin?
No, it doesn't say virgin.
Okay. Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. What translation are you reading?
I'm reading the NRSV UE. This is a straight-up translation of the Hebrew to English.
That's the problem.
The best translations of the problem?
That's not the best translation. The closest one would be King James.
What's the word for virgin
in Hebrew? The closest translation would be King James Version.
That's
so can you read that
ridiculous.
in King James Version?
Certainly not.
Now, look at the times on it. Look at
it says virgin, but
on translation.
Listen, the King James is not a good translation. It's one of the worst ones. No seminary in the world uses a King JV.
I didn't say
KJV.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
They do. There's a Southern Baptist denomination strictly use King James.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Anyway, this doesn't say virgin. It says ha alma hara. That means a young woman is with child. That's what that means in Hebrew. It doesn't say a virgin. The word for virgin is betula, and Isaiah uses that word quite a bit. So it's almost insane to say that if Isaiah meant virgin here, he didn't use the word for virgin. It makes no sense.
Maybe in that translation. That's
in every Hebrew translation, it never says the word virgin. The word virgin is betula.
No,
it says ha alma hara. Alma means a young woman.
If for sure word version and King James Version, it states that. But there's I just showed you that it's not just talking about the Assyrian invasion. Yeah, that's a conversation. No, it's a conversation.
Okay, where does it say this is about somewhere else?
It doesn't say. I didn't say it was about anywhere else. I said it's not just
No, I'm
talking about
asking
the
you, where
Assyrian
does it
invasion.
say? Okay, so what else is it talking about? Where does
I
it
just
say
told
something
you
else
it was
about
a sign that someone's going to be born of a virgin. Whatever you're.
it? He dropped there. I didn't drop him. I don't know what happened. His signal dropped. But no, man, you're completely wrong. And no seminary in the world, no credible seminary in the world anyway, uses a King James version. That's crazy. It's because they know the problems. Oh, man. Dude, I was blowing my nose when you dropped. I don't know what happened. It wasn't me. I sailed slow. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, doesn't say this is Messiah. Doesn't say anything of the sort. You have the typical Christian interpretation of not knowing what the Old Testament's talking about. Alrighty. Let's try the next one here. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's try Aster here. Aster, you there? Aster? I don't hear anything. I don't think Aster was here on purpose. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. Where we at on the heck yeah? 21 new followers. That means I passed. Hell yeah, I'm at 1,600 followers. I appreciate y'all. That is freaking awesome, man. We couldn't do anything, man. Well, I disconnected you because nothing was happening. You ain't got to be butthurt all, TJ. Start talking shit in the comments now. Listen, you're just wrong, man. It doesn't say virgin. The KJV is not right. The KJV says Easter instead of Passover, which is one of the biggest mistakes ever made in theological history. Like, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Not to mention, Emmanuel is definitely Isaiah's son. It tells you that in chapter 8, so you have to actually read the whole thing. All right, let's try Mr. Brett here. Brett, are you there? Brett? Oh, I don't think Brett was here on purpose either. Well, Pee-wee. All right, well, let's keep rolling. We got plenty of people in the queue right now. Oh, let me try Aster here. Maybe Aster reconnected. Or not. Aster, I guess your signal's not good or something, man. It won't load you in. So I think your signal is really bad. Mine's really good right now, so it's not me. Alright.
Hey.
Hey, Number, you there?
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah. You're over 18 and a Christian, ain't you?
Yeah. I'm definitely over 18.
Cool. So you got one of these topics you want to debate us on today?
Sure, I just got one question before I get there. Why do you boot people when they prove you wrong?
I don't.
You just did. The guy before me.
What did he prove me wrong on?
You were just like, oh, the verse doesn't say that, but it does say that. And then
It
he
don't?
proved you wrong.
I said it don't say that in Hebrew. I'm aware it says that in the KJV because the KJV is whack.
Okay. It doesn't matter. It still does say it. And all the
I never said it
versions
doesn't say
also.
it. I said it doesn't say it in Hebrew. Can you hear, man?
Yeah, and other versions, the
Okay.
interpretations mean the same thing.
All right, show us any Hebrew that uses the word for virgin there, and I'll be
All right,
proved wrong.
Let's
ahead.
go to
I'm
Genesis
waiting.
3:15. You ever heard of Genesis 3:15? You know that one?
I have, and that's what is
What
that
does it
about?
mean?
What are you bringing that up for?
But how does that not talk about Jesus?
How does it talk about Jesus? It's the creation narrative. It don't have squat to do with Jesus.
Sure, go to Genesis 3:15. I don't think you know this one.
I think I do.
What does it say?
I'll go to it. Genesis 3, he's punishing the woman and the serpent, and Adam and
Sure.
Eve. It's the fall. It's about
But
the fall,
something is
not
said.
Jesus.
Something specifically is said.
I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about. It's pretty ridiculous.
What?
Well, bring it on up. Quit making us guess. What are you talking about? Be specific.
What am I talking about? You're supposed to know this.
Dude, are we going to play psychic games here, or are you going to give me something to read?
Genesis 3:15. Read it.
3:15. I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will strike your head, and you shall strike his heel.
Who are you talking about?
He's talking about the damn serpent. It's a punishment for
Who's
the serpent.
offspring of the woman? The serpent is the offspring of the woman?
It says, I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. The serpent's offspring and the woman's offspring.
Who's her offspring?
The people she gives birth to.
Okay, so just say, if you don't know, just say. It's okay. You don't have to know everything. Who is the woman's offspring?
Cain and Abel.
Let's be honest. I think you're lying now. Who's the woman's offspring?
Oh, it's not. I'm lying about it being Cain and Abel.
Yes, you are. Who's the woman's offspring?
Oh, you're not even being.
Let's
serious,
be honest.
dude.
Now
you're not even being serious. It's unbelievably dumb. Thanks for trolling me. Nobody's that stupid. All right, let's try this one here. This one sounds good.
Bless you, bro. How are you? I just heard the conversation. Can you say that again for me,
Yeah.
please?
Hey, hold on. Yeah, are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 35.
I'm hearing an echo. You got some, I don't know, headphones or something? Me? What's happening? Hold on, I can hear you, but I'm hearing myself echo.
Is that better?
Yes. Okay, are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 35.
No, I'm still hearing the echo, man.
You still hearing it? Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Has it gone?
Maybe. Hold on.
Yeah?
No, it's not gone.
It's not gone yet?
No, you're hearing something's replaying into speakers or something.
All right, drop me down and
I'll
come back up.
Actually, that was a little better.
Is that better?
Yeah, I think it is. Okay, so you're over 18, right?
Yeah, I'm 35.
Cool. And you're a Christian, I guess?
Yes, I heard that offspring one. I just wanted to come up, and a lot of Christians are going to rate me for what I'm going to say, but I'm going to bring it up.
Go ahead.
Right, so I'll create an enmity between your seed and the serpent seed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now, if there is a doctrine out there, if apples made women realise they were naked, then we better pass the apples out. Yeah? Okay? Now listen to this. So you remember in Genesis chapter 6, if you read the book, they said angels slept with women. There was a big theory going around with angels slept with women, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, what if I said, you show me in the Bible where it said a piece of fruit?
What are you talking about?
In Genesis chapter 3, Eve is called the mother of all living, but Adam's never called the father of all living. You know why? Because Cain is the son of Satan. Satan, serpent seed.
The serpent isn't Satan. It says that's an animal.
It's the serpent seed. Satan slept with Eve.
You're right. I think you're going to make Christian's head explode right now.
And listen, if you prove to me where an apple can make a woman realise she's naked.
It doesn't say apple,
cover their
it says
sexual
fruit.
Parts, and God will punish them in childbirth.
Yeah, it's just a nonsensical story. Why believe any of it?
Because the actual fact is, that's why Jesus had to come through a virgin. That's why they were circumcised. You see, circumcised, sexual parts. How can you? That's a sign you're a Jew. How's that a sign you're a Jew? No one's ever seen your sexual parts. So why are you going to be circumcised? It's the same thing over and over again. Sodom and Gomorrah, it was sex. If you look in the days of Noah, what was it? They were sleeping with women. And he destroyed
I have no idea what we're even
sex.
talking about right now.
Well, the thing, the answer to your question is Eve slept with Satan. Be all and end all.
I never asked that.
Which one's more scriptural and which is not.
I don't think either one of you made sense there.
I made exactly perfect sense because that's the scripture. I will put enmity between your seed and the serpent seed, her seed and that seed.
Yeah, he's just saying he's separating her from the serpent, yeah.
Yeah, so there's two bloodlines all the way through the Bible. There's two bloodlines. And you can only come to the Father if you know his voice and if he draws you. So you saying you're not a believer is fine because obviously he isn't drawing you. That's what the Bible says.
Okay.
Now, what makes you not a Christian?
The Bible's a bunch of nonsense.
How's it a bunch of nonsense?
Because it says a bunch of stuff that's nonsense.
Well, give me something that's nonsense.
How about the part where a lady ate a magical fruit in a magical garden because a snake told her to?
Show me where the fruit is in the garden. Show me the magical piece of fruit.
It's in the tree.
Where the Bible doesn't say fruit of your loins and fruits of the Spirit. So show me where there's an apple.
It says a fruit. It's talking about a magical fruit from a tree, the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
So an apple can make you pregnant.
It doesn't say apple, it says fruit.
Okay, what's the fruit in the Bible then? The fruits of the Spirit.
It's the... I can't tell. I don't even know what we're talking about, man. Like, I can't... It's a conversation I can't track. I'm not even sure where this is going or whatever. All right, let's move on to something a little more substantive here. Still got almost half an hour. So. Show me where it says apple. You're right, bro. It don't say apple. I can't show you that. All right. Keeping it rolling. Who's Big Baz? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's up, man? You're over 18, right?
Yes, I am 18.
You are 18. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're a Christian?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, which one of these topics you want to try us on today?
Yeah, first I'd like to clarify. You do know that in Jesus' time, they were prominently using the Greek Septuagint, right? Like,
Yeah, they couldn't
almost
read
everybody. Huh?
Yeah, it's because they couldn't read Hebrew.
So why would we be quoting the Hebrew for a prophecy
Because
about
that's
Jesus?
what it's all based on. Why would you quote a translation of something when you can just go to the original?
Because the translation was translated by
The translation
Hebrew.
isn't right. The original's one that's right, if any of them are.
Yeah, and it was
I don't care what the
translated by
translation says. I care what the original says.
and it was translated by people who were reading the Hebrew. Do you know how it was translated? How many people translated it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was 72 different Hebrew-speaking scholars who translated it into the...
They didn't speak Hebrew.
Then how do they translate the Hebrew?
No, I'm talking about whoever wrote the New Testament didn't speak Hebrew.
We're talking about the Old Testament.
You're talking about the Greek Septuagint. That's a translation
the
of the
Hebrew
Old Testament, but it's not
translation
the Hebrew.
of the
Like,
Old
I can
Testament.
just use the actual Hebrew. Yeah,
The Greek Septuagint is the Greek translation of the Old Testament.
I know,
You
but we
that,
have
right?
actual Hebrew manuscripts we can use. Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, but nobody in the time of Jesus would have been using the Hebrew scripture to know he was the
Well, they
Messiah.
should have, because they would have cleared up a lot of these
Well,
problems.
they didn't have it. It's no trouble,
They
dude, because it was
didn't have
people.
They couldn't read it.
All right. Were the people who were reading the Hebrew scriptures were the ones that translated it to Greek?
Yeah.
Okay, so if they translated that word to be parthenos, which means virgin, what does that mean?
What does the word that means virgin mean?
Yeah, because also the word in the Hebrew is alma.
That's one of the mistakes that...
Also the word in the Hebrew
That's
is
one of
alma.
the mistakes that Matthew made, was translating Parthenos
Also the
as
word
virgin.
in the
And
Hebrew
it does
is...
mean... Listen!
I wasn't done speaking.
The word Parthenos can mean virgin, and it does mean virgin a lot, but it also does not mean virgin, because it clearly refers in several books, several authors use the word Parthenos for someone who's clearly not a virgin. So Matthew didn't understand the semantic range of
Yeah,
the word.
which is why when you're reading ancient languages, you put them all together in certain contexts.
That's why you should
certain
probably read
nouns.
the original and not bad translations.
No, because people in Jesus' times were... Dude, who translated it from... Do you also know what alma means? In what sense does it mean a young woman?
Yeah, Alma means a young woman.
In what sense?
A young, unmarried woman.
Okay, unmarried meaning what? And most times in the Bible, when it refers to an unmarried woman, it's referring to who? To a what?
To a young woman.
When it's referring to an unmarried young woman, most of the time it's referring to what?
An unmarried young woman. What it means?
Who is what?
A young woman.
Oh my God. If a young woman... Okay, so in the Old Testament, Sex is a seal of marriage, and that's why it says if a guy takes a woman.
Alma does
I
not
wasn't
refer
done
to a
speaking.
virgin, and it's not. I don't care.
I'm not
I
saying
know
it
what
means
you're gonna
virgin.
say.
You don't know what you're talking about, dude.
Oh shit.
So can I finish explaining?
So does it? Are you going to make the case that Alma means virgin or not?
Wait, well, I just want to know when you brought it up earlier. Why'd you leave out unmarried? It kind of sounds like you're just trying
Because
to like
it
push a
doesn't
narrative.
matter. Because that's not
Yes, it
what
does.
it's
It's
talking
very.
about.
Oh, it matters
No,
so
it
much.
doesn't.
That's
I
what the
said
word
the
means.
word in Hebrew is ha-alma-hara. That means
So you're
a
just trying to
young,
deceive people to push a
pregnant
narrative that you
All
can't
right.
back up.
All right,
Yeah,
whatever.
kick me.
Whatever, dude. Can't back up. I think I know what Hebrew means, buddy. And I know it better than you. You can grow some more hair on your balls. And then do some actual reading and come back. All right. Let's try woo-woo here. Oops, nobody there. Yeah, again, I know the word for virgin, and I know the word for young maiden, unmarried maiden. Yeah, and guess which one it don't say? Virgin! Oh, I'm sure it did. That's how delusional Christians are. They come out here and get schooled and then think they're the ones who did the schooling. Schooling for Jesus. Schooling for Jesus. Yeah, study some actual Hebrew, buddy. And then learn to track a conversation. Grow up. All right. Let's try the next one here. While we still got enough time for a good conversation. Jesus says it means this, so it does. All right. They're burning through the queue here. Oh, here we go. Bobby, you there?
Yes, I am.
What's up, man? Are you over 18?
No.
Oh. Well, we don't talk to children, buddy. We leave that to Catholic priests. All right, then. Well, he was the last one in the queue, but apparently not over 18. I don't know how he got on here. Because my audience is supposed to... I guess they just lied to TikTok on their profile. I guess. I don't know. I said over 18. Oh, my bad. Come back up then. Maybe I missaid that. Let me try. Oops. Nope. Well, while we're waiting on Bobby, if you are over 18, you can come up. Or wait, that's not who that was. Never mind. Anyway, while we're waiting on that, let's go back to Isaiah 7 here. And we'll read the actual Hebrew translation. Yeah. Once again, for the 50th time today. It says, therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. Look, the young woman is with child, and shall bear him a son, and shall name him Emmanuel. He shall eat curds and honey, and by the time he knows how to refuse the evil and choose the good, the land before whose two kings you are in dread will be deserted. That's it. That's all Emmanuel is. It's a timeline for Ahaz and the Assyrian invasion. And in chapter 8, all this comes to pass. It says it will sweep onto Judah as a flood, and pouring over it will reach up to the neck, and its outspread rings will fill the breadth of your land. Oh, Emmanuel! And then in verse 10 here, it says, take counsel together, but it shall be brought to naught. Speak a word, and it shall not stand, for God is with us. That's the whole point of this prophecy, man. And right here, see, it says, "See, I and the children whom the Lord has given me are signs and portents from Israel, the Lord of hosts, that dwells on Mount Zion." They're signs. They're not people. They're signs. Well, it is a person, I guess, but it's not talking about a person. The name is what's important, and the sign that it's given. The sign that God is with us during a freaking invasion. That's the whole point of Isaiah. That's the context of Isaiah. To say this is about Jesus shows a complete lack of contextual knowledge here. And Hebrew semantics and stuff. Anyway, for me, it says, "And I went to the prophetess, and she this is chapter 8 of Isaiah, by the way. It says, "I went to the prophetess, and she conceived and bore a son. Then the Lord said to me, name him Maher-Shalal Hashbaz, for the child." And so, like, it's about children. It's sons. Like, Christians, you got to do better, man. Y'all got to do better. This is pretty sad, really. Even though it's entertaining, it's still pretty sad. Oh, it's all about the context. The context. Got it for the context. The Old Testament. The context. The context. I was singing the Joel song there. It's a good one. It's so funny, though, especially when young Christians come up here, like the one dude being 18. He's like, "It says Jesus says the Greek Septuagint. Jesus says virgin. It's a virgin. It's born from a virgin Messiah." Hebrew never actually says that. Go watch any freaking like Tovia singer. Like, no, doesn't say that. You can read it in Hebrew. It's not what it's not what it says. It's not what it's talking about. It's not nothing. It's a pathetic attempt by the New Testament to hijack it and make it about Jesus when it's clearly not. It's about what it's talking about. Turns out, to the chagrin. Or wait, was this the...
Hello.
Was you the one? Hey, you're over 18, right?
Can I ask a question?
Are you over 18?
Why are you making such of things?
All right.
Why are you making...
If you can't even answer a question, I'm under no obligation to answer yours that don't have nothing to do with the topic here, buddy. Thank you, Baba. You're right, that was a joke. Good Lord. Good Lord. All right, let's see. Where'd we end up? 1,603 followers as of today. That's awesome. I appreciate everybody. How many followers is that? That's 23 new ones today. That's awesome. It's been 2,000 people come through in barely 2 hours. The stream is killing it over here. I appreciate all the gifts, all the comments, all the screen taps. I appreciate you just being here. If that's all you did, that's all you got to do. It's pretty awesome. Had a huge audience all day today. So, all right, the queue. I have run out in the queue. So, appreciate the heart, buddy. I'll tell you what, I'll give it a couple, really don't even have much time anyway, but I'll give it a couple more minutes and see if we get another real quick combo in here. Then I have to go back to work today after the holidays. Sucks. Sucks going back to work after a vacation. It's like, Black Jesus. I don't know about that one. Jennifer, thank you. I don't know what that was, but it was awesome. Hand heart thingy. That wasn't a regular hand heart, though, was it? Didn't look like one. Maybe they changed it. Either way, thank you. That was awesome. Appreciate you. Guess we'll give it a... give it a minute, I suppose. Guess we'll try Utah here and get another quick one out. That wasn't an actual request. Well, guys, if you don't mind, I have a YouTube channel also that's Apostate Ape. Y'all check that out. Throw me a subscription over there if you don't care. I put all these replays on there every day. Actually, I had some good conversations today. Had some typical ones too, but we started off pretty good, I thought. Then it spiraled into the normal nuts we get who think they know it all. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate you. Man, what a great day it's been. The numbers are really awesome. They're almost all awesome now. Like, I've only actually had to reset the stream a couple times the whole time I've been doing this. I probably should do that. I just don't know how, and it takes a really long time. And I burn up my mornings with the stream and working and all that shit anyway. That probably is a really good idea, though. Actually, I've had some shorts on YouTube that did really good. I really need to figure out how to do simultaneous TikTok and YouTube lives, how to connect them, but that seems to be pretty complicated. So, actually, I might go ahead and chop this one out. We really don't have a ton of time anyway, I don't think. Streamlabs. Y'all have to try. I got the OBS thing. I even watched a video on how to do it, but I still couldn't pan it out. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm pretty slow. Hello, Soul. Hello. Well, this was day number 58 in a row for the stream here. Tomorrow will be day 59. Sunday will be day 60, hopefully, unless something comes up, huh? Oh, okay, yeah, I still couldn't figure out how to do it then. Soul, I don't have much time. Well, I mean, we don't really even have enough time to get into a meaningful debate, I don't think. But I'm here every day, so if you want to come back in the morning, I can bring you on up, man. And once again, yeah, appreciate it, Soul. Appreciate that follow. I'm on here every day. I welcome good conversations. You know what we like here is highly contentious but civil debates. That's what we go for. I'm not into third grade shouting matches. I'm certainly not about to talk to children about crap they don't know nothing about while they sit here and cackle. Sometimes it's funny, but sometimes it's not. Got more meaningful conversations to have. For reals, yo. But anyway, guys, don't know who to raid right now. I would suggest somebody to go raid, but I'm not even sure who's. Oh yeah, never mind. I was gonna check, but I forgot I don't know how to check it on my laptop. But anyway, guys, I appreciate the shit out of everybody. I'm gonna wrap it up now. Thank you for everybody being here, especially Miss Jennifer, Rick, all y'all. Finkeldorf, I appreciate the shit out of all y'all. Y'all are a super big help on the channel here. And I mean big help. Your fave heathen, appreciate you. I have a super fan? I don't even know what that is. Oh shit. Dude, that's awesome, y'all. I appreciate that. Thank you, heathen. Well, we'll be back tomorrow and we'll either do some cooking or get cooked some more, whichever one you like. It don't even matter. But once again, hell yeah, Rick. Y'all have a good one. I'm going to try not to work too hard today. I usually don't. But anyway, guys, I appreciate the shit out of everybody. Once again, the 8 will be back tomorrow. Unless, of course, something unplanned comes up. But it should be fine. Should be fine. Day 58 in the books, y'all. Have a good one. Oh, wait. That's the wrong thing.